Most people go into the woods looking for peace, but sometimes they find something that they were never meant to see. Abandoned campsites covered in missing person posters, unidentified creatures screaming in the dark, deadly traps at neck level, and a cabin that seems to vanish overnight. These are discoveries caught on camera that still have no explanation till this day. Let's start with one of the strangest. In early October 2016, a hiker by the names of James Rankin was exploring deep woods near a residential area when he stumbled upon something very chilling.
But I came to a trail that led to a trail that led to a trail up the hill, and I came down this, and as you can see, probably can see, it's locked. There's trees knocked over, blocking it, and cut down so that it's hard to get down the hill. But I saw what looked like a fire pit, and since I've already
An old campsite. At first glance, it looked abandoned. A fire pit, scattered debris, nothing unusual. Until he noticed the trees.
So I come down the hill. And remember, we're still in the woods. We're still in the woods, right? I don't know what this is. Do you see the trees? The white sheep. Okay. I was like, okay, these are probably no trespassing signs, or maybe it's something for the wildlife or something. And look, we're bordered on all sides by hills. Anyone with any sense of strategy or tactics, let's being in the center of a bunch of hills is tactically disadvantageous because people can hide on the tops and throw things or shoot at you. Anyway, I'll cut right to the chase because I might die. Look what these are. What the going on in here? And this isn't like woods.
Taped to multiple trees surrounding the campsite were missing person posters, real ones, different names, different states, different years. According to the state they were in, they had been there for quite some time. And at the center of the campfire was a shovel. Now it was very clear that nothing was making sense at this point. Why would somebody gather missing persons posters from all across the country and tape them to trees where nobody actually even walks? And after this encounter, James reported to the police. However, authorities would dismiss his case as some kind of Halloween decorations. But James was never convinced. The posters didn't look recent, they looked aged. Now, weeks later, James would return to the very same location. However, this time the trail was blocked, with the homemade no trespassing posters taped to the trees. It's as if somebody was trying to keep everyone out, and that was the end of it. There were no further investigations. And till this day, nobody really knows why the posters were hung on the trees. In this next video, two bikers were riding through a remote forest trail. And from the GoPro footage alone, you notice these two were moving at incredibly high speeds. Their path was very clear until the rider in front suddenly swerved. Strung between two trees was a steel cable positioned perfectly at neck height, and at the speed they were traveling, it would have been very fatal. And seeing how the cable was carefully placed, this was intentional. The riders debated on staying to confront the person who set it up, but in the end they just gave up and left. The person responsible for this has never been identified. In 2013, a man named Phil Pollin stepped outside his home late at night after hearing something strange echoing through the woods. He lived near a forested area in Michigan, Oregon.
First about 11 p.m. I'm a couple hundred feet from my house, and you hear it going off in the background right now. Kind of sounds weird. Kind of sounds doggish, hyena-ish.
At first, the sound was distant, almost like a dog, but then it changed.
I mean, that almost sounds like laughter. It's actually gotten closer since it started. It's probably only 200 feet, 300.
The sound would continue for several minutes, then suddenly gunshots would echo through the forest.
I think that was a gunshot.
Right after the gunshots had ceased, all noises stopped. Multiple neighbors claimed to have heard the same similar noises for several months. Unfortunately, no confirmed explanation was ever given. Some suggested they were just coyotes. In February 2018, an environmental worker was exploring a remote forest land in North California when he discovered something quite unusual. He found a cabin, an 8-by-12-foot structure, 15 feet tall, and it appeared to be locked from the outside. Now, this cabin shouldn't have been here, as the person would have needed permission from the owner to construct such a structure. After reporting the case to the authorities, they forced their way in and they found signs of life. There was furniture, a stove, food jars, books, and a typewriter. Someone had been living there, and by the state of everything, it was very recent. However, there was no identification, no name, and no trace of whoever was behind this. Days later, authorities would return, but the cabin was gone, completely decimated, no debris, no structure, only a charcoal symbol left behind, which was widely believed to be an international swallows mark. Unfortunately, because of this, we would actually never know the person who built this cabin.